off to our left. Fortunately, they were okay, but they didn't realize that they had flipped and they were upside down. So when they released their seatbelts, they all fell on their heads because they were so disoriented as to the position they were in. They fell down, but they were able to come out and start helping us. Seemed like it took forever for the helicopters to come in, which really wasn't true. It was only a matter of minutes. They were there. And we had to take the children to the helicopters by walking backwards because the helicopters were throwing up all the rotor wash was throwing up all the debris from the aircraft. And so in order not to be hit with it or get hit in the face with it, we had to walk backwards, carrying the children until we got to the helicopter, and then the fellow in the back of the helicopter told us we could put the children down. The best line of my career, I do not remember. I was taking children back and forth to the helicopter, and as I came back to the C5, I saw a little boy, little baby, crawling around on some of the edge of the aircraft that was torn apart, and I thought, if he gets off of that, he's going to drown, because we were knee deep in mud, knee deep to almost waist deep in mud from the right side. So I grabbed him by the seat of his pants, which he did not like, but that was the only way I could grab him. So I grabbed him and picked him up, and that's all I remember until I woke up in the helicopter. But evidently what I did, and all the crew attests to that was there, that I walked over to the navigator, Major Wallace, and said, "Sir, I request to be relieved of duty because my injuries prevent me from continuing and promptly passed out." So he picked me up and carried me to the helicopter. So the picture that I remember is waking up as I'm being put in the helicopter. We went to the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital in Saigon. That's where most of us went. That's where they set up the morgue. There's so much more I can tell you, but some of us ended up going back to Clark that night on the C9, which I was one of them, and ended up in the hospital at Clark for a couple weeks. And then, in a sense, life went back to normal. We continued all the aerovac flights. We continued all the baby lift flights. I couldn't fly. 3 of the 10 of us medical crew members were killed. 2 of them were from my squadron that was stationed at Travis, Captain Mary Clinker and Sergeant Mike Paget. Ironically, the medical crew members killed were from the crew that joined us. None of the medical crew members on the original crew died. Some of the flight crew died. There were 11 fatalities among the whole crew. Everybody was awarded the Airman's Medal. And as you heard from the description, I received the Cheney Award. I want to say something about all of that. Number one, personally, I think the whole crew should have gotten the Cheney Award. Yes. I honestly think the whole crew should have gotten it. When I read the accident report later, the report that was sent in by the Collateral Investigation Board, the comment that they made, which I am most proud of, was that the professionalism and teamwork of the medical crew and the flight crew working together saved this from being a worse tragedy. Yeah. And what I want to say about heroism, because everybody says it's a story of heroism, that it is. And we were all called heroes, but none of us saw it that way. And I can speak for the entire crew when I say, we saw what we were doing was what we were required to do of our job. And so I've come to the conclusion that heroism is not doing extraordinary things, it's doing ordinary things under extraordinary circumstances. But I think I'm probably out of time or over time.